guys, it's Greg here from Ritual Gaming, and today I'm going to be going over some arena footage that I compiled over last night, and I just wanted to have a little look at some different comps that I've been trying to run, some comps that I run. I'm just going back and forth between two particular comps. I filmed this after I had already gotten my rank for the day, but I just bought back in, got the extra 5 games, and wanted to kind of mess around. So let's go in and have a look at the footage. Now, unfortunately, some of the teams that I'm going to be playing against aren't completely level 70 maxed out like the teams that I was using, but they're pretty much up there. You can see these 3 teams right here are the ones I'm going to be mainly playing against. So the first comp that I'm going to show you guys is kind of Poe and Droids. Now, this comp is completely maxed out except for Poe. He's at 6 stars, but everybody else is 7 stars and we have max gear. So against a comp like this, I'm always worried about one of the droids kind of getting blown up right away. Qui-Gon got his assist attack off there called Sid, which I was really happy about because he doesn't do too much damage when he gets called on assist. And then Dooku went too, but they didn't kill anyone. So luckily, I got an assist onto Sid and blew him up right away, killed him really quick, so he's out of the picture. Now, of course, it's a Daka comp, so I'm a little worried. I'm going to taunt here with Poe and hope that I can kill Daka before she brings possibly Sidious back. So I try and one-shot Daka here. I miss by just a little bit, but I auto-attack or basic attack with IG-86 and take her down. So now that it's left with a 5v3, even though I've lost Poe's taunt, it doesn't really matter. If I get really unlucky and they evade completely all of my attacks, then this might not be over, but it's pretty over. Even though Dooku just took out IG-86, it's still a 4v3, and now I can just hopefully one-shot Dooku with Poe's attack, which I don't. Okay, that's really unfortunate. So now it's gone to a 3v3, but I take out Dooku, it's back to 3v2. And now what I'm thinking is, how do I want to finish this off? The round's basically over now that I have my damage dealers left. And I get really lucky there, get a healing immunity onto Qui-Gon Jinn, and Luminara heals. Take out Qui-Gon, and now it's just left to that part. So I really like this Poe and the Droids team still. I think it's still quite a really good squad. Luckily on my server I don't have too many guys that are running Rey, which, Rey can really mess out the squad with her foresight, and gosh, it took me a little while to clear out Luminara there actually, because just so much evasion. But yeah, if people were running Rey, I think I'd be having a bit more trouble on my server. So now we go to the second match, and this is kind of a Qui-Gon Jinn led assist comp that I wanted to try. I wasn't quite sure that I would need Poggle's buff to really, if I got Poe's taunt off. So I wanted to try and start first, which luckily I got to here. I kind of won the coin flip. And here I'm just really thinking about who I might be able to one-shot if I get lucky. So I go for Sid because I feel like he's one of the squishier guys on this team. Or, I'm sorry, I go for Qui-Gon Jinn. Unfortunately, I don't get to kill him there. And Qui-Gon gets to go, but luckily, let's go back there. Did his assist? Huh, that's interesting. Why did he not use his assist there? Okay, so he uses his other ability, which is kind of strange. If he had done his assist, then I maybe would have gotten unlucky and someone would have died there, but no one did, so that's alright. So I get to take out Qui-Gon and then Poe taunts. I actually got really lucky with 3 exposed targets. So I'm going to try and get healing immunity on Sid, which I do. And then here I'm going to try and one-shot Sid, but Poe doesn't do any damage, so he doesn't die. But I get kind of lucky because Luminara and Daka both try and heal Sid up, and Daka doesn't bring back Qui-Gon Jinn, and Sid is still left there, of course, since he has healing immunity, basically wasting Daka and Luminara's turn. So I'm going to leave Sid off to the side for a second, and kind of ignore him because he's not going to do too much damage, and he's not going to get healed, right? So he just basic attacks there. I'll basic attack him back with Poe. He's out of the picture. Now, the game's basically over. It's a 5v2, so I'm going to clear up Dooku and finish off Daka after that. Now, when I'm playing against this composition with droids, I'd be a little bit more worried, but I actually really liked this kind of Qui-Gon Jinn assist comp, especially since I got to go first, of course. But it feels a bit more tankier than the droids. I feel like if they had gotten a lucky assist onto IG-86, then it would have been totally different when I was left in a 4v5. But that went well. So now I'm going to show you the team here really quick. So got Genosian Soldier up there, of course, Poggle the Lesser. I accidentally made that piece of gear that he can't equip yet until level 74 or something like that. IG-88 and Poe. I'm going to 6-star Poe soon, but I'm working on bringing Qui-Gon Jinn up to 7 stars, which I'm pretty close to, so I'll get back to Poe soon. So I'm going to try another team now and run droids again. So, luckily this guy doesn't have a Qui-Gon Jinn. What I'd be really worried about here if he did have a Qui-Gon Jinn, let's say in place of Luminara, was that Qui-Gon Jinn would go, then call an assist of either Genosian or IG-86, and that would almost definitely kill someone on my squad unless they hit Poggle or Poe. If they hit Poggle or Poe, that'd be awesome. And then what always happens is Sid follows up with his AoE, and if they were just a little bit low, then he picks them off. Then you've still got Odaka's stuns to deal with and her revives, and even if you pick off targets, they could come back, and it's really frustrating. So here this start isn't too bad, and I get to go with my Genosian Soldier. So I'm going to try and pick off his IG-86 because his IG-86 is quite low health, and I think if anyone except for Poe there had gotten called to assist, it would have been totally fine. Now here I debate not casting my buff with Poggle and just finishing off IG-86, but I have gone down that road before and I always regret it. So I decide not to, and luckily Poe gets to taunt and IG-88 is here to AoE. He gets a double ability block, but unfortunately IG-86 comes back due to Daka's passive. So I have to use IG-86's ability, basic attack to pick him off, and then he comes back again, which is insane. So I'm all of a sudden left in a 4v5 with Genosian Soldier really low and someone stunned, so if I use an assist ability and he gets called, then that'll be the worst. So I decide to focus on Genosian Soldier since he's going to be the person to attack next. And I start to take him a bit low, but he still gets to attack. So I'm left with a 4v5 against 5 guys that are pretty high health. Daka hasn't even used her heal yet, so even if I pick someone off, then maybe they could come back. So at this point, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to win this match. So luckily, IG-86's assist ability is back up, and I feel like I can most likely try to pick off their IG-86 again. Okay, so he stays down this time. Daka heals, and he doesn't come back, which was great. They already had enough luck. Then I'm going to try and pick off their Genosian Soldier with my Genosian Soldier's assist ability. Again, picked him off, which was really awesome. Now, with Poggle's basic attack here, I'm going to be looking to try an ability block or just try and take him lower. I think if I wanted to go back on that, I was pretty sure that Luminara hadn't healed, but I wasn't going to try and ability block her because I was thinking even if I do ability block her, Sid could start picking off some of these lower health guys, and then he would start healing with his passive, and it would kind of snowball into this circumstance where I couldn't come back because I have no heal, right? I have to try and live for the moment. So luckily I pick off Sid, and he stays down. Now Daka gets a double stun here, and I'm just thinking, like, how bad can my luck be for this match? I try and use Genosian Soldier's assist ability there, I think, and he must have called one of the guys that were stunned. So Daka gets another stun on Genosian Soldier, and I'm running really low. I still feel like I can win this, but I'm debating whether or not to buff with Poggle or just try and use him as damage to ability block. But as I said before, I've been down the road of not using Poggle's buff on cooldown, and I really always regret it. But I get lucky there, and even though Luminara basic attacks my IG-88, she doesn't kill him. I get her down, get old Daka down, and come out with the win, which was insane. I can't believe that match came back in my favor. Okay, so this next one Yeah, I'm gonna try, I think I'm trying a different comp here. Okay, so I'm going back to the assist comp that I was talking about before. I actually really like this comp. I thought that it would lack on damage a bit since obviously there's no Poggle's buff, and my Sidious isn't gear 8 yet. He's kind of a bit lower, but it doesn't matter. Now here, his Qui-Gon Jinn gets go first, and he calls Old Dooku, and luckily Old Dooku, he calls Count Dooku, and luckily, even though Count Dooku gets his bonus attack, he doesn't stun or ability block my Geonosian soldier, which would make me really sad. So here now I'm wondering, who should I try and pick off with my Qui-Gon Jinn's assist, because the next round I'm assuming not Old Dooku, Count Dooku will go, so I want to try and pick off someone that'll make it worthwhile. So I forget a little bit what I did here because obviously I pre-recorded these videos. So yeah, I'm gonna try and kill Dooku because he's kind of squishy, and he was gonna go next, and I get him down, which is awesome. Now my Geonosian soldier went before their Sid, which I found kind of odd. I forget what level this guy's Sid is. I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me. Am I missing something there with speed? So I try and take out Qui-Gon, and I use the assist onto Qui-Gon. When Qui-Gon taunts, he gets 2 out of 4 exposed, both on the healers though, which, I mean, it's okay. So I'm going to try and finish off Qui-Gon Jinn here. Now the reason I want to finish off Qui-Gon is because I feel like if I switch targets, maybe go to a Sidious, I could get unlucky with some evades, Sidious could start healing up, and also what I'm worried about is if Qui-Gon Jinn is left to wreak havoc on my taunt, he'll remove my taunt next turn. Okay. So in this position I have IG-86's assist, and I was kind of hoping there that I could one-shot Daka. I don't, and then Luminara heals, healing back Daka, luckily not healing Qui-Gon Jinn, and then Daka heals and brings back Dooku, which is pretty much the worst case scenario, and I instantly regretted trying to pick off Daka because when she has 7 stars and she has max gear, she can be, you know, a bit more tankier than she normally is, and I think I was just used to kind of less tanky Dakas, although she's not that tanky. Maybe I just got unlucky. I think the better situation there would have been to either pick off Qui-Gon Jinn or to try and one-shot Sidious with the assist. So from there, now I'm left back with a 5v5, and I just have Qui-Gon Jinn's 3rd ability. So I use it to pick off his Qui-Gon Jinn and put it back in my favor. Now here, I felt like it was worth it to get the damage onto Dooku because I knew that Poe would be going soon, and he can't do very much damage, so I figured I'll just basic attack Dooku, try and get him a little bit low so Poe can finish him off, and luckily that's what happened. Luminara and Daka, of course, have to attack my taunt, and now I'm left with a 4v3. I keep leaving Sidious to the side here because what I'm worried about is maybe if things go wrong. I've mentioned this a couple times, but he can really snowball if you get a couple of misses and then you have guys that are low, like my Geonosian soldier over there, or his own teammates too, and then he just comes back with so much health. And he really just doesn't do that much damage, so especially to this comp that I'm running. So now I'm going to pick him off, and this game's pretty much won, unless I got extremely unlucky. And now I don't want to use my assist ability from Qui-Gon Jinn onto Sidious because I'm a little worried I might miss. Not like that really matters now because it's probably over, but that's just something I try and get in the habit of doing because I'm not really used to using Qui-Gon Jinn. I just got him recently, and so I wanted to make sure that I continue that. So that's the end of that match. I'll just let that time out. I actually just got this kind of assist-esque comp running recently, and I really like using it. I'm not quite sure it's completely ready or really that good, but it's getting there. So now we go to the very last match, and I wanted to try to, I forget the composition I made here, but I did not like it as I was playing it. So yeah, I'm gonna run Qui-Gon Jinn lead, then, yeah, okay. So I thought that Sidious wasn't doing enough damage, So I decided to put in IG-88 to pump up that damage, because even though Sidious has healing immunity, I didn't think it was that good. I didn't think it was doing me too well, so I figured I might as well just try with IG-88. Now, in this circumstance, his Qui-Gon gets to go first, calls Dooku. Dooku gets a double attack and an ability block. So I can't use my assist, which really cripples me in this composition since it's based around getting assist attacks. So I do the wimpiest wet noodle lightsaber attack to their Qui-Gon, hoping that now I can one-shot him. Now, I get the assist of IG-88 and he just lets me down. Didn't kill the Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, luckily, I can clean him up here a bit with the AoE, and after I did this, I thought, actually, you know what? Maybe I can come back here. So now I have the choice of trying to either pick off Sidious before he starts healing back up, or picking off Lumi or Daka before they get their attacks. To be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it would be better to pick off Daka so she can't get her heal off once that ability block runs out. But I'm always wondering how long ability blocks last for, and I don't know. I mean, I know they last for a turn, but sometimes it's hard to tell. And yeah, so what I'm trying to say is I'm pretty sure I make a huge mistake here by, instead of focusing Lumi, I should have focused Daka, or instead of focusing Sid. Yeah, so at the end of that turn, her ability block comes off, she instantly brings back Lumi, and then Lumi instantly heals, putting me into a situation where it's a 4v4 with them having a great health advantage. So in hindsight there, I definitely should have killed that Daka. I think I would have completely won the game. However, I'm glad that this happened because I really don't think IG-88 would fit at all in this comp. And I got really unlucky on the Dooku counterattack there. So after this game's basically a defeat. I'm just trying to run it out, maybe thinking I could pick someone off. Sometimes you can get lucky with IG-86's basic attack, and he can just smoke someone out, and then you can kind of turn the game around. But as soon as this happened, I knew it was a defeat. So I'll just go forward in the footage here and show you guys where I left off. Of course, okay, so I was at that rank, so I wasn't going to go down, and that was the end of that. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I plan on doing more of the arena footage, things like this, and as Ritual Gaming, we're going to start doing them as groups sometimes too, mixed in with Galactic Wars. So let me know what you thought of this. I felt like I was talking a mile a minute, maybe a little too much, but since it's my own, or my first time on my own in this video, I think I was just trying to fill dead space. So let me know what you thought. Like, subscribe, do all those things, comment, you know, whatever. And thanks a lot for watching, guys.